So many people right now are breaking up, having fallouts with friends, having fallouts with family members. So let's begin with this one. We're going to begin with Rob. Now, Rob has come out on his threads and he's sparked up a conversation that the people are really trying to decipher what the hell he's talking about. In fact, who he's talking about. Now, as you can see, he says, on one end, I definitely keep records of how these people are moving around me. And if I drop screenshots / recordings, it is the only way for me to fight back against the exact BS that motivated me to record said evidence in the first place. On the other hand, somehow it will be flipped on me that I'm sassy or petty or being extra if I make the extra effort to expose others for blatantly lying on my name literally every chance they get. Why can't I accept getting bullied by these manipulators? So here's the thing. This is where people are now wondering, what is Rob actually talking about? Now, I've got three people in mind here. So we've got the situation with Emma. Emma approached Elise when it came to the terror and said, listen, you have been trying to sleep with the same man that I was sleeping with. And that man being Rob. Okay, so that's the first person, Emma. The second person is Elise now. Elise said, hold on a minute, that's not true. I have not at any time tried to sleep with Rob ever since I first met him on Hunt for Love. So the question is he talking about maybe Emma bringing his name up and he's saying that what she's saying isn't exactly 100% true? Or is he talking about Elise and saying, well, what she's saying isn't also 100% true. But at the end of the day, we've got two women now who keep bringing up his name and maybe he's just not happy with exactly where this is going. But then I have a third person. Now, this third person comes in, has someone that is now officially left the 90 Day Bad Boys. And because this person has left 90 Day Bad Boys, we've also noticed that this person no longer follows Rob and Rob no longer follows them neither. The question is, who am I talking about? Well, let's dive into it real quick. So, as you can see, as per the YouTube shorts on my page, if you haven't checked them out, Jamal came out by giving us an update regarding him and the 90 Boys of, 90 Day Bad Boys.
Okay, I've been seeing a lot of comments about what's going on with me and the Bad Boys, and so I just want to address quickly that I'm no longer doing content with the Bad Boys. Something I've kind of been thinking about for a while, of just wanting to follow my own path and just do me. Again, I think I got a little lost in it for a while, and there are other things to get into that I will address at a later time. So follow my YouTube. The link will be on here somewhere, where I'll be doing more reactionary content, just really doing me and not kind of being like in a box, you know? But that being said, I wish nothing but the boys the best, and whatever they choose to continue doing with the brand, good luck. Thank you for all the support that I had while I was there, and hope you keep supporting.
So, this is what brings me to this point now. Or is Rob potentially talking about his relationship with Jamal? Because neither one of them to actually follow each other anymore on social media. So is there some sort of a link up here within what we're seeing based on what Jamal's come out to say compared to what Rob had to say? I mean, listen, I'm going to say that it's probably easier and more accurate to say that what Rob is talking about is probably more aligned to potentially Emma and Elise, not so much as necessarily Jamal himself in particular. But either way, though, it's something that I thought I'd still present in this context because you never know. Maybe the two do actually cross over. But either way, though, as you heard it yourself in particular, Jamal is no longer part of this 90 Day Bad Boy situation. So therefore, who knows what's going to happen moving next with Josh and Rob? Are they going to continue on their own, or are they going to bring someone else in to join them? Who knows? But the reality is this. I would like to know what happened, though. You know, was it a conflict of money? Was it a conflict of girls? What was it that actually finally brought these three to be a point where they were like, you know what, I'm leaving, you two do your thing? Maybe we'll find out in the near future, because Jamal does say that he's going to let people know as long as, I guess, they subscribe to his page or whatever it is he's talking about on YouTube. Now, with that being said, though, we're now going to move on to something else. Now, when it comes to Winter being Chantal's sister, well, we know that she's now married and she's also recently pregnant. Now, of course, when you are pregnant, what happens? You have a baby shower. And right now, people are wondering, okay, simply wondering, where is Chantal and where is River? Now, of course, River is also the brother of Winter and Chantal, but in the video itself in particular of this baby shower, people have noticed that there is no attendance whatsoever from Chantal, nor is there an attendance from River himself in particular. So people are wondering, has there been some sort of a clash? Has she maybe not been invited due to the fact that she's now in a relationship with a woman? So many speculations. Now, the only thing that I'm going to say is there's a good chance that maybe Chantal and River just couldn't make it. Maybe they had other plans that just allowed them to not be there. But at the same time, when we know how so close and how tight the family is, we therefore would expect them to make it happen, do you know what I mean, no matter what. Which is why people are definitely under the influence that maybe something has happened when it comes to Chantal and River not being there at the baby shower for their own sister's firstborn baby that's obviously going to be coming at some point. Do you see what I'm saying? So the question is, do you think that there's more to the story? That yes, maybe something has happened with Chantal and her sister. Maybe something's happened with River and his sister. Or do you think that literally it's not that deep and it was just a clash of plans, clash of dates, so therefore they could not attend? That question there, I'll leave it for you folks to obviously answer and let me know. Now, yesterday and before that, we also did speak about another topic, and this topic has been regarding Angela Deem, and that is being based on, is Angela Deem coming back to 90 Day Fiance? Now, it has been teased that she's coming back for 90 Day Fiance ever since Michael was confirmed to be on Hunt for Love. So therefore, people were then speculating and had rumors that Angela is coming back for Hunt for Love between the sheets, so she can give her opinions on, I guess, the people who are going to be a part of Hunt for Love, but more specifically for us to see what she says about Michael. And then recently, in the most recent video, I spoke about how her and Beniam are friends, and apparently Beniam has now been added to the Hunt for Love. Now, if he has been added to Hunt for Love, I would imagine he's probably a replacement for Razman, because rumor came out before that Razman had to leave Puerto Rico due to a confrontation that he had with Jamal. Okay, so therefore maybe they need to replace him, and therefore they brought in Beniam. Now, because Beniam's in it and him and Angela are friends, there is now this strong rumor that, well, Beniam is actually, the reason why Angela's coming back to the show to also be supportive of him, which therefore made things a bit interesting whether or not she's back for the show is in the actual Hunt for Love to be there, there's more support for Beniam, or she's there literally just for Between the Sheets. Well, we now have another update, and this update is actually from the source itself in particular, that being Angela Deem. So let's see what she's had to say. Now, as you can see in this post itself in particular regarding the rumor itself of Angela coming back to support and to be there for Beniam, etc., etc. Well, as you can see in the comment section, she responds and says, I will be King Bin back for sure. I don't know what King Bin means, but okay, whatever. But either way, she says back for sure. So it seems to me as if Angela Deem may actually be coming back now, because we're seeing her respond, you know what I mean? But at the same time though, her responding doesn't necessarily give us 1000% clarity that yes, Angela Deem is going to be a part of it per se, because who knows, maybe she's just saying it because she just wants to be a part of just the topic. She wants to be trending, but at the same time though, why would she lie? What would she gain from it? Probably nothing. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say right here, right now, if we do see Angela Deem back, well, guess what? We should not be surprised, and it's looking more and more likely as each day goes by. The question is, give me your thoughts on it. Now, I know you already gave me your thoughts on it before in the previous videos, but now we've got more confirmation than ever. So bear that in mind. Now we're going to move on to the next one. This one here is all about Veronica. Now, Veronica is somebody that we know recently got married to Seth. Now, a lot of us didn't expect the marriage to go through simply because before getting married, Seth and Veronica got into a physical altercation that resulted in both of them two being arrested. And because they both ended up being arrested, we thought surely their relationship is over. But they both got released, and then once they both got released, they both then obviously reconciled, and all of a sudden on social media, these two are now married. And we're like, whoa, dude, what the hell is going on here? Does Veronica not learn her lesson? Does Seth not learn his lesson? If you two have been in a physical altercation before getting married, it clearly tells you that you shouldn't be getting married, because if it can happen once, it can happen twice. All right? And also, Veronica has her own history of also being arrested as well. Now, here's the thing. So on Veronica's page itself, right, this is the thing that's rather interesting. Despite the fact that she still has pictures and images of her and Seth, something very interesting has happened as of late. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the screenshots of it, but Seth originally made a whole bunch of screenshots on his, no, sorry, a whole bunch of posts on his story, pretty much indicating the fact that a divorce was coming. Now, unfortunately, at the time, I was unable to screenshot it because I was busy and I saw it, but when I went back to find the screenshots, this is what happened. You see Seth's profile. So this is Seth's profile here. His profile had somehow disappeared. So then I thought to myself, you know what? Let me head over to TikTok to see if he's there as well. And guess what happened? His profile had disappeared there as well. Now, the only thing that makes this thing quite interesting is that you see, just before Seth came out on social media and done his screenshot and done his stories of pretty much indicating the fact that their relationship has come to an end and, you know, a divorce is going to be near, all that kind of stuff. Veronica, literally the day before, if not the same day, literally was posting like normal. Literally posting like normal. And even though Seth is now looks to be completely removed from social media, she still continues to leave everything as it is. Now, the reason why this is key is because usually when you say, well, somebody's leaving it as normal, it usually means that maybe it's not that deep, maybe everything's going to be a-okay. But here's the thing though, when everything that went down with Veronica before, when the physical altercation that went down between her and Seth, that put them both in a position where they both got arrested, literally a day or two before that, Veronica had posted like normal. And then once they were both released, what happened? She then came back to social media and posted like normal. And then all of a sudden, boom, bam, drops wedding pictures like normal. Point being is that just because Veronica is still keeping face by posting, whether it be on her TikTok, whether it be on her Instagram or whatever other platform that she uses, even though she may be posting like normal as if everything's a-okay, it doesn't mean it's okay, because so far when things have happened, Veronica has still kept face regardless. Okay, so therefore, let's not be distracted or blindsided or be deflected away from the fact that what's happening here could legit be happening, and that is that a divorce could be on its way. The only question is though, what has put Seth in a position to, one, come out of the screenshots that I'm unfortunately unable to show you guys, but trust me, everything that I'm telling you is true, okay? Well, the question is now, because of this, what does this mean? Oh, no, the question is, what has brought this on to the point that he had to remove his social media account and even come out on social media to even call out the whole BS? Do you see what I'm saying? Either way, though, will we find out information in the future? I don't know, because I do not expect Veronica to give us any updates, because like I said before, even when everything is happening in her life, she has always behaved as if everything is normal. She has never behaved as if things are actually not going well. It's as if she has too much pride to admit that things aren't going well, so therefore she'd rather continue as if it's a-okay. So I don't believe we'll be getting an update from her anytime soon. If we do, then I'll be here to let you guys know. Regarding Seth himself in particular, maybe he's going to return to social media, but right now he's completely gone offline, so I don't know. But either way though, we'll keep monitoring the situation, and maybe something will come of it at some point. All right, now with that being said, we're now going to move on to the next one. Now, this one here is all about Daniel and Lisa. Okay, now Daniel has had a few things to say regarding his relationship with Lisa and this situation. So let's get into it.
Who is better than you, a man who is more intelligent, a man who is that you have gotten everything you want in a man. How can you tell me that? How will you feel that if I tell you that? Will you be happy after 3 months?
And he gives an example from his Bible story about Eve and how the snake tricked her, because apparently this new boyfriend, Ty, is the snake. I'm like, baddies.
Because someone was there convincing you, trying to, did you read the book of my Bible story, and where the serpent, the snake went and convinced Eve about eating of a fruit. The serpent convinced Eve to eat the fruit. So, who is better than you?
I mean, listen, the whole situation is becoming nothing but a hot mess. Okay, now, this is one of the reasons why I've said it, because before, I do generally believe that Lisa is going to be back for 90 Day Fiance with this new guy. But let's just read exactly what the description says here, okay? Daniel is done. He has broken his silence on Lisa. He went live and said Lisa scammed him. Daniel said he is tired of being the villain, while Lisa moves with another Nigerian man with another off-the-cut engagement and is probably getting ready to film another season of the show with Ty. Daniel decided to go public because he is tired of being called a scammer and tired of being dragged on the internet, and ready to lay out every detail of what he says actually happened behind the scenes. Daniel says his entire relationship with Lisa and their time on the show was a business deal. He says they were supposed to split the TLC earnings 50-50, but after filming was done, Lisa and Faith were in cahoots and stalled. They changed their deal and told him that he would only get 40%. He said it's not easy living in Nigeria, and every dollar counts. So getting a part of the money was promised. He felt like a betrayal. Daniel said in the same TikTok live, Daniel said he never asked for money from her, then later admitted that she did take around 7K from her during their relationship, and would have taken more if they didn't break up. Swipe to see and obviously I showed you guys the rant. So things are definitely heating up when it comes to Daniel and Lisa. Wow. So we're now in a position where he's coming out and saying, guys, she's the scammer. To be fair, we've all said that they've both been scamming each other, right? That's the reality of it. And despite what he says there, it seems to me as if you was both still scamming each other, because you agreed to be on a show with somebody because you was going to get paid. It's as simple as that. But in the end, I guess she's just not willing to, give you the money that she was supposed to give you. Either way, though, look at it this way. He's the one that agreed to come on the TV show with her. He's the one that agreed to pretty much do this whole malarkey. And it seems to me as if he's now getting burnt. Take accountability, my guy. You're the one that decided to, do a madness with this woman. And you should have seen it coming. Let's just call it what it is. Either way, though, I want to know how they even came to this arrangement of this business deal. How did Lisa even know him in the first place? How did they even get to this conversation? How did she approach him? I feel like we would need more details. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's lying in any shape or form. I'm just saying I want more details on how this all came about to begin with, given the fact that what he's saying is true and that them going on the show is nothing but just a business deal. Because, boy, I will say this, when it comes to Daniel and Lisa, there's always more to the story, and it's never just what they both say, because whenever they both speak, including Faith, there's always more somewhere. And I say this because, you see, Faith came out and said before that her mum was actually pregnant. We then saw the show and they spoke about her being pregnant, but then all of a sudden Lisa's sister came out and said, hold a minute, they're both lying. Lisa was never pregnant. That is an absolute lie. She never had half of a history, you know the word. Yeah. She had a full one, do you know what I mean? And then on the other hand, when it comes to Daniel, he says this, but then if you question him, he then starts to backtrack a little bit. So more of the story is, this is never one of those situations where you can ever fully believe what Lisa says, or where you can ever fully believe what Daniel says, as well as Faith as well. So the reality is, will we ever get the actual truth when it comes to these truth? I tell you what, trying to decipher the truth between Lisa and Daniel is like watching From. Anybody that watches From will know that no matter whether you watch season 1, season 2, season 3, you will still not get any answers of what happened in season 1 and season 2. You won't get no answers of what happened in season 1 and season 2 from season 3. Okay? And that's why for me, I ain't watching season 4 anymore, because that show is just trash. Yeah, call me out for that one. My point is that no matter how much you want to dig into the Lisa and Daniel situation, we'll never get the full freaking answer, because it's just whatever. So we just have to come up with our own conclusions. You know what I mean? And anybody that does watch From, I'm telling you now, you're being scammed. Okay, they're manipulating you. They know what they're doing. They want you to keep watching it, making you believe they're gonna finally answer something, but they're not. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm throwing the towel, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, with that being said though, if you haven't watched From, I don't recommend it personally, just putting it out there. But with that being said though, let me know exactly your thoughts on the matters itself in particular, and we can mostly talk about them. Oh wait, hold on a minute, my apologies. Now also, we do have an announcement as well from Jabari. Okay, so I'm not going to play the full thing, to be honest with you, but Jabri.
So I basically, right now, I came back home. I'm cutting out some of the supplements, and then.
Sorry, I noticed. I don't know why it was playing Laura's one when. Oh, that is a very good point though. I was meant to talk about Laura. My bad. Let me play the Laura one real quick. My apologies.
So I'm basically, right now, I came back home. I'm cutting out some of the supplements, and then in a couple months, I'm going to retest all my labs here, send those to Turkey, and then go back. So
more of the story is, we know that Laura was meant to have a skin loss removal surgery, right? In Turkey. and it never happened. And other tell, oh, we saw that she had gained weight. At least that's how she seemed to have looked anyway. What she was wearing, the angles, everything indicates to somebody that lost weight. So she's now saying that basically she has been denied surgery and she has to go back for a reevaluation. And if she's been denied, it's probably because she has gained more weight. And to be honest with you, even the weight she was at anyway, she should have never been approved for it regardless, because she definitely wasn't at a stage, in my opinion, where she was healthy enough to actually get the surgery. And to be fair, I looked into it, but I always thought that Turkey, you didn't need to approval. You can just go there and pay the money and then they do it regardless because they just want the money. But as of January 2026, all surgeons in Turkey now have to have a license and also an insurance that covers them for having any international surgeries on people that are obviously not from Turkey. So I think now in Turkey they're cracking down, well, the government are now cracking down on surgeons giving anyone a surgery just for the sake of it, purely because of the level of backlash that's happened over the years with so many people having so many different boss jobs in so many different areas. So I do know as of right now, there is a law in Turkey or whatever, or a license that you need. So maybe due to this new license, they probably looked at Laura and said, no, we can't do it. We should never approved it in the first place. We knew it, but we just wanted your money. But now we're going to make sure you're in the right place. So more of the story is, do I believe Laura's ever going to get to the place where she's actually going to get the surgery? Probably not, because I just don't see her losing the weight. But then again, though, recently on social media, Laura did post a video of herself back in the gym, looking like as if she lost a little bit of weight. But here's the thing, you see, folks, this is why social media is a lie. Not all the time, but it can be a lie. You see, this is what Laura did, right? First and foremost, this is what she did. She took a picture of herself, okay? From about this far away, okay? Boom. All right, to be fair, it was actually further than that. It was even further than that. The picture was very, very far away, all right? And usually when somebody takes a picture of themselves far away, it's because far away makes you look slimmer, and it can also make you look more toned. So if you ever see a picture of a guy or a girl, you know, with tops off or whatever, and they're taking a picture so far away, is because the lighting can make them look even more toned than what they are, okay? As well as also more slimmer than what they are. So the one thing I'll say is, despite the fact that she recently uploaded a video of herself, or a picture, whatever, of her going back, all right? It doesn't necessarily indicate the fact that she's actually genuinely lost weight, okay? It can just mean that she's just uploading the one that obviously does her favors from a distance, if you do what I'm saying. But also on top of that, sometimes when people upload things, you know what they also do? They also upload things that were old. So sometimes when somebody uploads a picture today or video today, it doesn't mean it was taken today or anytime soon. It could have been a year ago. It could have been set time ago. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, to be fair, I was looking for it, but she hasn't got it on her page because it must have been on her story. Yeah. Either way, though, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts regarding Laura self in particular. Do you think she'll ever finally make it over the line of actually losing the weight that she needs to and then having that surgery? Or do you think that's never going to happen because of whatever reason that you may have? Let me know in the comment section. Please don't forget to hype the video, subscribe, and like the video. And I'll catch you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great freaking day.